Hello, everybody. Good morning. Rose here. Today I'm reacting to Foodie Beauty's live stream called Let's Bees. So this was a live stream that she did last night, and to be perfectly honest with you, I was hoping that there'll be something a bit more interesting to cover because ever since the ER situation where she allegedly went to the ER to get checked out, she's been doing nothing but binge eating and getting high. And I'm not really fond of covering either one of those things. I really don't like covering streams where foodie is high off the edibles or just sitting and doing nothing but eating. But so far, there seems to be a lot of the eating and the getting high going on. Is she eating and getting high because she's nervous about the upcoming Sam's Bar Lounge video that's supposed to be released at some point? Because she's nervous about what's being said in the videos? Don't know. Can't really say for sure. But if I had to take a guess, I would say yes, that she is nervous about what the video is going to reveal. And that's why she gave the pre-apology in advance and claiming that it wasn't her fault, whatever was said. She was doing it under duress. She was doing it because she was being manipulated. There's absolutely no accountability whatsoever with she said something and she said it wrong and she's apologizing because it was the wrong thing to say. So in this live stream about to cover, Foodie Beauty talks about the date she went on. Although I have something interesting I'd like to show all of you that I think might be of interest to you. So there's Foodie in the stream last night. And I've told all of you in the previous reacts that I feel that her and Natter are still talking and seeing each other. Let me show you what just happened a few minutes ago. So here's the community post that Foodie put up 24 minutes ago. It was just a picture of herself, but look at the state she's in. She's all dressed up like she's been somewhere. She's got the Gat No Glitter eyeshadow on, and she looks like she's feeling herself. There was no explanation given for this photo about why she looked like this. But Natter posted this community post 8 minutes ago saying, "Hi guys, please come and join me on my second channel, Natty Daddy, to address some of the Foodie Beauty BS and lies. See you there soon." I'm not quite sure at this point what Natter could say about Chantal that he hasn't said already. But isn't it funny that they both post so close together? Here's Foodie posting a picture like she's been somewhere, like she's been out of the house, or she's going someplace. And Natter is about to do a stream on his second channel. Interesting that it's not being done on his main channel. It's on the Natty Daddy channel. Whenever Natter wants to go off, he tends to go off on the Natty Daddy channel. Not sure if it's because he wants to monetize that channel or he wants to say things on the Natty Daddy channel and not endanger his main channel. But allegedly there's supposed to be some kind of live stream about Foodie going on there. Although at this point, Natter, you've already said a lot of stuff. What else is there to say? What else is there to say that you haven't said yet? But here's Chantal during this stream, and Foodie has turned comments back on. So for those who don't want to watch the stream, let's cover those first. So you don't have to see Foodie or listen to her. If seeing her eat, if seeing her being high is something you're not into, I absolutely understand. It's not my most favorite things in the world. So let's cover the comments for those people. West Coast Lass says, "Please don't ever stop being the wreck we've all come to love laughing at." Oh, she has no plans of stopping, that's for sure. She went to the ER. She got her inhalers. I don't think she actually saw a doctor. because a lot of the things she was saying did not make sense. She was saying that the doctor failed to mention that she's got an enlarged heart. I would think a doctor would mention that. It's a pretty serious thing. But she, ever since the ER visit, she's been going heavy with the food, ordering the fast food. And in the live stream I'm about to cover, she talks about going out on a date and drinking alcohol, which is something you shouldn't be doing if you've got diabetes and if you've got an enlarged heart. I mean, you're just asking for trouble. Una Leem says, do you make stories up as you go along, or do you have notes that you refer to? Well, we know how lazy Foodie is. I seriously doubt that she wrote stuff down that she should mention, or stories that she makes up that people might actually believe. She just goes off the cuff. She just wings it. And she thinks she's clever and that the things she says are actually believable, which they're not. Miss Anthropos says people who don't pay their taxes for 4 years should have their own special ER where the doctors and nurses who barely pass work. I hate the rest of us pay for you. Yeah, Foodie doesn't want to go to a regular doctor because the doctors are going to give her the truth. They're going to tell her, look, you need to lose weight. You need to take care of yourself. And she doesn't want to hear that. And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think she should be going to the ER or going to the doctor if she's really not interested in her health. If you're not interested in your health or taking care of yourself, what is the sense of going to a doctor and wasting their time? What is the sense of taking up their time when there are other people who go to doctors and go to the ER that actually want and need the care because they care about their health? Don't waste the time of a medical professional if you don't care about yourself and you are determined to, drive yourself to an early grave. Lady D says, obviously, Foodie didn't take the ER visit seriously. Smoking, eating edibles, and McDonald's. The comment about her being the biggest person he has dated is not a compliment. She doesn't go on dates. She has Tinder hookups and sleeps with men the first time she meets them. Yeah, hooking up with a guy as soon as you meet them, that's really not a date. That's a hookup. That is, it's a booty call. And if the guy made the comment that he is the biggest woman that she has ever gone out with, unless he's a feeder, unless he's into bigger women or into the bigger ladies, that doesn't sound like a compliment to me. It really, really doesn't. But if she's smoking, she's eating edibles and eating multiple meals at once, yeah, you don't care about your health, Foodie. So if you don't care, then how can you expect anybody else to care? You've got to care first. And if you don't care about your health, why come on camera and complain and make public all of your health problems? What is a sense of involving the public if you don't even care about your health? Luma Marshall says, so she supposedly had dinner with her new man, ate a plate of appetizers, and then had McDonald's. This is going to go well for your enlarged heart. I don't know for real what all health problems she has. I mean, she's told us a bunch of stuff. It could all be true. It could all be false. But what we have seen is that she has trouble breathing. She has trouble with her mobility. She can't even walk for 10 minutes. That points to very, very poor health. Cackle says your dating goal should be finding a man who isn't embarrassed to claim you. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? She doesn't go on dates. She goes on hookup sites. She finds hookups, she hooks up, and then that's as far as it goes. And even if she finds a nice guy, which I don't think nice guys should be around Foodie right now because she's not a nice person. And once she finds a guy she likes, she gets way too clingy, way too obsessive. She doesn't know how to just to get to know people, talk to them, figure them out, find out who they are, what's their deal, Who are they? She's not interested in that. She's about finding, how can I put this? She is a person that if she exerts any amount of effort to be around someone or do something for someone, she expects something in return. Maybe her mindset is, hey, I got all dressed up here and I put on a nice dress and I put on my makeup and I came to see you. So because I did all that, you owe me in a relationship. you know, just her doing the simplest of things. You better give her a relationship or she's going to rage at you. She's going to get on camera and embarrass you or shame you if you don't go to that extreme and reward her for just looking decent and acting decent on a date or a hookup. Deanna Larson says, an intelligent, wealthy, Mercedes driving Indian gentleman who made you go for a walk. This sounds like an appointment with your cardiologist. If only she did go on more walks. If only. I mean, I've said in the past, if she wants to go on walks, she's got the money. She can buy a treadmill, put it in the villa, and she can walk whenever she wanted in the comfort of her own home. She wouldn't even have to be out in the heat. And she could she could lose a lot of weight that way, comfortably. But something as simple as that, she can't even manage. Summerflower says, as if her new hobby of hooking up with random strangers for one night stands, dates, as she calls them, isn't bad enough. She doesn't even shower and change her clothes when she gets home or when they leave her flat. Not to mention brush her teeth, because we all know she isn't doing that either. You know, Foodie, if you're looking to attract a good man, you have to do the hygiene thing. I'm sorry, there's no way around it. Unless you are looking for a guy that is into the fetish of filthy, dirty, disgusting women. I mean, if that's their fetish, then they would be into someone who might have a bit of a body odor and stinky breath and the hoo-ha not being healthy. Somebody like that would dig the lack of hygiene. But most normal guys are into hygiene. They want a woman who looks good, smells good, is healthy, takes care of themselves. If you don't want to do that, it's going to be real hard to keep a man around because a foul smelling, stanky breath female is not something that a lot of guys want. Duckmane says the best thing about Chantal is if you do stop watching her for 6 weeks and come back, you literally miss nothing and everything is still the same. Yeah, it's sad but true. Absolutely sad but true. I mean, you could take a break from Chantal, come back, and you really haven't missed much. She's doing the same thing she did 6 weeks ago. You know, she still has the occasional rages. What has changed? Nothing. You don't come back and say, I missed so much. I feel lost. What's happened? Nobody's getting that feeling anymore. Carol Carrot says you shouldn't make fun of Jen's knitting. At least she has hobbies and interests other than obsessing over a cokehead and has a relatively decent looking man who is openly committed to her. P.S. People who constantly talk about sex usually aren't getting any. When someone has a good sex life, they typically don't need to shout it out to total strangers. That's true. People who normally have sex, it's not a big deal. It's just something you do, but Chantal must be getting so little that when she does have it, it must be a very, very special occasion. She treats it like a holiday. And you're right, Carol. She should not be making fun of Jen and her knitting. I think knitting is a great hobby. Knitting, crocheting, painting, sculpting, like those are great, healthy, creative hobbies. I support the knitting. And knitting, you get a bonus because you're making something that you can use in some way later. It's a very creative, helpful, and even a profitable hobby. There are people that make money off of knitting blankets and clothing and other things. Dee Dee's Endless Wine Glasses says, I had such a good time The way she says time, I'd be insulted if a guy said to me, "You're the biggest woman I've ever been with." He won't be seen in public with you again. You use the filters to look 100 pounds thinner, I'm sure. And the dude probably almost fainted when he saw the real you. Doesn't pay to catfish. At the end of the day, they see the real you. Yeah, see, that's the big thing about catfishing. Using filters, lying about your weight. You can do that online and get away with it. But if you ever want to go out with a person in real life, they're going to meet the real you. So what is the sense of being dishonest? At some point, the lie is going to break apart. It's going to break apart. Why lie to people? Just be yourself online. And that way, when you get offline and you go out with somebody, they're not in a state of total shock that the person they saw in pictures is not the same person they're looking at. Honestly, in this day and age, if you're doing the online dating thing, it's only smart to say to that person before you meet up with them, I want to FaceTime. I want to FaceTime. I want to see what you look like in real time. I'm not just relying on pictures of you. I want to see what you really look like and what you really sound like on FaceTime. That would prevent so many catfishes from happening. Just taking the extra step and saying, let's FaceTime right now. Let's get on Skype or something like that. I want to see what you really look like. Because if you're dealing with a catfish, they won't want to do that. And that'll be the dead giveaway that they are catfishing you. Joanne says, does she actually think we believe her imaginary men and dates are real? I don't believe any of them are real. I just think she talks about imaginary dates for content because she needs something to fill up all that time for the long live streams. I mean, if you're like Chantal, where you're sitting there for 3, 4, 5 hours, you need something to fill up the time. So she fills it up with putting on her makeup. She fills it up with talking about imaginary dates and talking to guys on hookup sites. You know, she's got to run up the meter. She comes on camera with the sole purpose of not entertaining people, but running up the meter so that the live stream is as long as possible so she can get that Google AdSense money. So she's constantly making stuff up, just exaggerating everything. That's a tell when she exaggerates everything. The exaggeration is a tell she's not telling the truth. Sober Katover says, drinking beer all day with an enlarged heart. Wow. I'm assuming you didn't know this, but alcohol weakens heart muscles, especially in women. The food and dope isn't doing you any favors, but alcohol paves a direct path to heart failure. Everything she's doing for her health is bad. And can I just put some thoughts out there about that? These are my thoughts. These are just my feelings. I think Chantal has an inkling of how bad her health really is, and that's why she refuses to go to a regular doctor, because if she goes to a regular doctor, they're going to give her the truth. They're going to tell her, look, you're close to dying. You could have a heart attack at any time, and she doesn't want to hear it. I don't know what happened in Chantal's life a while ago, because I suspect it happened a while ago. But I think something happened, and she decided, you know what, I'm just going to go out with a bang. To fix my health, I would need to do so much, and I would need to keep up with that for quite a while. She knows all the work that she would have to do to fix her health. And Chantal doesn't want to do the work, and she doesn't want to commit to good health. So she just decided, you know what, I don't want to live to old age. I want to live how I want to live. I want to do what I want to do. And if I die early, fine. That's the way it's going to be, because she's making no attempt to fix herself. If anything, she's getting worse. She wants to get online. She wants to cater to the feeders. and make that money. I don't think she cares about her health at all. At all. You know, every day that she wakes up and she does the binge eating and she smokes the stuff and she does all that stuff, she's flirting with death. Absolutely flirting with it. She's dancing around it saying, go ahead, I'm ready. That's just my thought. Because there's absolutely no care about her health at all these days. If anything, she's getting worse. Let's see. Then another one says, it seems whenever you make a big point about needing to eat healthier, lay off the edibles, etc., you almost immediately double down on the things you vowed to give up. After checking out the nutritional info on a Grand Big Mac, you commented how unhealthy it was and ordered it the very next day. As I just said, she doesn't care about her health. I think she likes to talk about the getting healthier thing and then eating badly directly after that for attention because she knows it causes outrage and upset. And her content is about shock and drama and getting people upset. But the only person that she's hurting with all of this is herself. She's not hurting anybody in the audience. I mean, yes, she is making them upset, but ultimately the person that pays the biggest price for her unhealthy lifestyle is her. You know, she's the one affecting her own health, and she's the only one that can fix it. So you know what, Chantal, this may seem like a heartless thing to say, but it is what it is. If you don't care about your health, then why should we care? If you're in bad health, if you're having chest pains, if you have trouble breathing, well, if you don't care about it, then why should we care? Why are you putting it in front of people, expecting them to care more about you than you care about you? Is that a fair thing to do? You know, you come on camera and you talk about your health problems, and yet you don't do anything about them. So, I mean, if you want your audience to care, then you've got to care. If you don't care, then don't bring stuff to our attention. Mary T says, this wasn't a date, sis. A date is being treated like a lady, mutual interests, talking, getting to know each other, mutual attraction, going out in public. Yeah, this was a fast wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Well, you're probably right. It probably was a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, although I don't know if the bam part actually happened. Because if she catfished the guy with her filtered pictures and then he saw her in person, and he made the comment that he was the biggest woman that he'd ever gone out with. Don't know if that was a good thing when he said that or a bad thing. But if it was a bad thing, then the BAM actually probably didn't happen. Busted Can of Biscuit says, if I don't get healthy, I'm going to die. Hee hee. I hate McDonald's. Hee hee. I've never seen someone think that having an enlarged heart due to massive obesity is a clean bill of health. Maybe the doc did make a deal of it because it's clear from your medical records you won't change. You lost your uterus due to your health, and look where we are. What an enlarged heart means is you're going to end up with heart failure. It's a miserable way to die where you drown in your own fluids. Good for you, Chin. You clearly give a crap. This food is crap, and he has thousands of calories and keeps eating it. Well, that's the binge eater in her. That's the her catering to the feeders. Don't know if somebody paid her to eat that food. Don't know if the feeders are back in the chat saying in private, hey, if you eat this, I'll send you some money on PayPal. But she really shouldn't be catering to the feeders at all, whether it's on YouTube or off. Because as I said, the one who pays the biggest price for all of that is her. And again, if she doesn't care, then we shouldn't care. Deanna Larson says, I'm not certain if you're getting better or worse at your storytelling. Honestly, I think that she doesn't give a damn. She's just going to make any old thing up and then turn that into content. She doesn't care anymore if people believe it. Laura of the Valley says, I'm about to make a lot of people mad. Like who? Your gynecologist? How is she making anybody mad? Because she's eating unhealthy? You hurt yourself doing that, Foodie. Paige B says, some harsh truths about dating. Going on actual dates, not just hookups, it takes a lot of effort. And yes, men will be on their best behavior for dates, usually, opening doors, faking it until they get you in bed. Since you never date, you won't realize this. It's not real, lol. They just want to goodness gracious, it's too early in the morning for this. They just want to fetishize, damn it. I can't say that word as they were, like fetishize. They just want to make into a fetish there and sleep with you. That's true. If you want someone to value you, you've got to show that you've got value. You've got to show that you're worth something. You've got to put out the vibe of, I got my act together. I am a person worth getting to know. I am a worthy woman of love. And I don't give up my love easily. I'm here to get to know you, and you got to get to know me. And until we get to know each other, ain't nothing sexual happening. You've got to put that vibe out there. Angie says, if someone said you are the biggest person I've ever been with, I'd be a bit uncomfortable. Just as someone shouldn't say you are the skinniest person I've ever been with. Either of those are equally tacky. Yes, they are tacky. I'm smaller than Chantal. I'm 127 pounds. And if I was ever on a date and a guy made a remark about my weight, I'd be looking at him sideways. I really would be looking at him sideways. Because I wouldn't, even if he said you're the skinniest person I've ever been out with, why are you making a comment like that? Why you blurt? I mean, thinking it is one thing, but saying it is another. And if they say it, it's like, what are you saying that for? Abstract Beauty says, so this guy clearly was not into her if he was talking about going on a date next week with somebody else. Ouch. One thing about men, they never talk about other women if they're trying to pursue the one they're with. Also, he stated you are not normally his type. Double ouch. He was just being nice to you. That's it. Learn to read between the lines. So the guy made the comment about her weight. Then he's talking about going on a date with another woman next week. Yikes. Oh, man. So that didn't sound like a guy that had a fetish for bigger women. Sounds like a guy that she catfished. And he got the shock of his life when he met her. And talking about going on a date with another woman. You know, I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here. Sometimes if a person doesn't want another person to call them, if they meet someone and they definitely do not want to talk to you later, they will make up a lie just so they don't have to deal with you later. Like, oh, I've got a date next week, or, I've got to go somewhere. Don't know if the guy really had a date, but there's a high chance that he was saying that just to kind of let Foodie know that, hey, I'm not that interested. Double ouch. Truth Teller says, LMAO, sure, the hot man in the Mercedes was fawning all over you. You could even hold on to an abuser bum that you paid for, did all the driving for, kissed his feet that never once publicly claimed you. But you don't have to convince us these hot, young, model-looking men are lining up for you. We believe you, sweetie. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. She's living in her own fantasy world, and she's putting it out to the world. Yeah, these hot young model men are all over me. Listen, why don't I believe that Foodie is seeing hot model men? It's not because of her size. It's because of her personality and the fact that she doesn't take care of herself. And inside of her head, it's a complete mess. You can be a big, beautiful woman and attract men of different sizes. That ain't it. But she talks about not brushing her teeth and not taking a shower, and she wears dirty clothes for days. And she's clingy and possessive and controlling. And why would anybody of any size want to be around somebody like that? It's very unappealing. Very, very unappealing. Okay, so Louise says, give SJ the money like you said you would. Text him Thursday and told him you would send him money Friday. It's now Monday. Since Friday, you have spent hundreds gorging yourself on takeout. Karma will catch up with you. You know, why would anybody expect Foodie to give them money? Anybody who's ever watched Foodie, anybody who's watched her for 5 minutes, knows that she's not about that giving life. She's about that taking life. If you give Foodie money, don't expect anything back. Don't expect her to give you your money back or even content. She's not about giving, except to crackheads that hurt her. She's about taking. Anybody else that she's going to take something from you. Heather McGuire says, drunk driving. People just going to brush that off. Must be nice living in a fantasy world. So she said when she was out on this date that she drank 2 very big beers, and I guess she drove home. Very irresponsible, Foodie. And you wonder why people don't like you. It's because you do crap like that. You shouldn't be on the road driving and drinking, ma'am. You've got enough money. You can take a taxi home. You can take an Uber. That's what they're there for if you need them. Raven D. Archangelo says, it's sad that BBJ wanted some ice cream. There was plenty of vanilla in the cup that you could have given her a bit. But of course, that would be less for you. So you say it's loaded with chocolate. Again, I saw plenty of plain vanilla as you were shoveling it in your mouth. That once you got off camera, you finished the fries and the burgers. You know, BBJ is an elderly cat. She doesn't need ice cream. She doesn't need milk. She doesn't need anything sweet. She needs regular food. And I got some stuff to say about the cats. Because as you all know, I'm moving. I'm moving across state. I got to cross over 2 states to get to Washington. That's where I'm going. And Booger's coming with me. She's not going to like the car trip, but she goes where I go. I would never leave her behind. And something that I noticed in the streams, something that I just want to make everybody aware of. Anybody that's a cat or dog owner, anybody in my audience, then I think you can back me up here when I say that if you are someone, if you are a pet parent and you are feeling stressed out, what happens? Your pets are all over you. Your animals can feel your energy. They respond to your energy. If you're stressed out, if you're sad, they pick up on it and they won't leave you alone. I know in many moments that I have felt stressed or sad, Booger won't leave me alone. You know, she's all over me, like, what's wrong, Mom? So Foodie's been stressing out, like doing the binge eating, getting high. Where are her cats? Where are they? In this live stream, I don't see them around. Where are they? What's going on with that? That doesn't seem normal to me. On that note, I would like to say, because I know that Foodie watches my reacts. Foodie, listen, you're in really bad health. Really, really bad. And you are, metaphorically speaking, you're in a car driving 100 miles an hour and you're driving down a road and you're about to crash into a wall. Hard. If you have the mindset where you want to pursue this reckless life and you want to hurt yourself with food, with drugs, you want to pursue natter, and you don't want anything standing in your way, I think the kindest thing you can do is give the cats to somebody who can take care of them. You've been a very neglectful, awful pet owner, running out of food all the time, not taking BBJ to the vet to get her medical care, and she desperately needs it. Even Sam, who's a much younger cat, he's an overweight cat. Being overweight is not cute for an animal. It isn't cute. If you can't provide a clean, healthy environment for your cats to run around in, if you can't be bothered to get food, to feed them when they need to be fed, if you can't change the litter box and you're sitting there letting it go for months at a time without being changed, which is bad for them and also bad for you because all that ammonia gets in the air and you're breathing that. If you can't provide the things needed for a pet, you need to give them to somebody else. And I'm not screaming saying that. I'm not yelling. I'm not using profanity. But you know you've got health problems. You know you do. You know that you're close to death. I hate to say it that way, but that's the way it is. You need to give those cats to somebody else now and let them live out the rest of their lives in peace and comfort and love and with people that can do right by them. Because the way you're going, you're going to put yourself in the hospital or in the grave, and then they will be alone and they won't have anybody. So give them to somebody now before that happens. If you want to live this reckless life, be kind and live it without them. Don't make them suffer for it. Don't make them suffer. If you plan to have a life where you want to travel and go places, that means they're going to be left alone a lot too. So you're not being a very good pet parent. For all the awfulness that you are, if you care about your pets, it's your responsibility to do what's right for them. And you need to do it soon. If you got an enlarged heart, if you've got a fatty liver, which by the way, ma'am, it's so bad that we can see it on the outside of your body. At any given time, something could happen to you. What's going to happen to them if something happens to you? Who's going to take care of them? I know you like flirting with death, but let me tell you something, Foodie. All that food you're eating, all that fast food, I know you like to misbehave and give your misbehaving a cute name, Beezin. And you do that to make it seem less dark. You know, let's bees. You turn everything into a big joke. Well, it's not going to be a joke if you have a stroke. And let me put this in your head. Sometimes you can have a partial stroke, the one that might paralyze half your body or mess up your brain. I knew someone a long time ago that had a partial, like he had a stroke, and it messed him up so bad that he actually forgot how to eat. And he was in the hospital for months with partial paralysis. You're living paycheck to paycheck off YouTube. All it would take to bring everything crashing down around you is one missed month of not being able to film. Everything you got going on hinges on the immediate money from YouTube. You got nothing in savings. You got nothing. You got nothing saved up. And if something happens to you medically, who's going to take care of things until you recover, if you recover? Just give that a thought. But if you're going to pursue this reckless lifestyle, you're going to sit there and you're going to binge eat, and every single one of your organs are in trouble. Every single one. If you're going to do that, be a responsible pet parent and give the cats to somebody who can take care of them. At least be that kind. At least do that. They deserve that. Roadkill Roadkill Souffle says, if she dies, what happens to Pete's? It's not like he has any money nor job aside from YouTube. I hope she's made a will and remembered him in it if she has anything to bequeath. You know, Pete is a grown man. And Pete has put himself in this position where he's living with Foodie and he's not making his own money. He doesn't have a whole lot coming in. And he's right there with her. He's got to see the writing on the wall. At one point, do you see a serious situation go on and say to yourself, I've got to do something. I got to take care of me. Because I'm living with somebody, she's paying the bulk of the bills and whatnot, but her health is so bad, she could have a heart attack at any time. At one point, as a person, do you say, I see the writing on the wall and I've got to do something about it before something does go down? He's too reliant on her. And her health is getting worse. He's got to wake up and realize it. He just can't live in his fantasy world of Foodie's going to be around forever and take care of him. He just got to break away from that. Naomi says, Chantal, do you really think it's smart to travel to Turkey right now? It makes no sense to travel that far for sex and food. Then again, 99% of the stuff you do makes no sense anyways. She's not going to go to Turkey. I doubt she would get medical clearance. If she got into an airplane, given all of her health problems, the fact that she's got a history of blood clots in her lungs and she's got an enlarged heart, it would be extremely dangerous for her to fly. Sandra Scott says, damn, views dropping so much. The views are dropping because it's boring. She doesn't have to rage to make it interesting, but she has to get out of this rut that she's been in for over a year. People are sick of it. They're so sick of it. I mean, she got lucky because the reaction channels covered it, and we did what we could to make it interesting, but there's only so much we can do for so long. Her channel has been on life support for the longest, but you know, how much juice can you pump into a nearly dead battery before it gives out? You know, that we can't make this interesting, y'all. We try, but there's just, I mean, we got to have something to work with, and she's not giving us anything. All right. So let's move on to the actual live stream itself. I don't know how much of this we're going to cover because she's doing the same old crap. So let's get to, shall we?
How was your D appointment? Okay, so I told him I would, talk about the date, but not about him. So, because I told him he was very interested in my YouTube, and so we met at a pub.
Classy place for a first date. Okay, hold on. Let's do a short recap. So this guy drives a Mercedes, right? The first date, he meets her at a pub. Excuse me? What? He's driving a Mercedes and he meets her at a bar. Oh, how classy are you?
The Royal Oak, and we. Hi, Miss Holly, Rhonda, Tata, hi, Sherry, Chicken Toes, Bad Storm, oh no, Des, hi, who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? I have to scroll up. Comic Book, Pamela, Kay, Vicky, I said hi. Fatty Liver, oh yeah. Look, I don't know, Fatty Liver. So,
oh, yes, you do. It's 3 times the size of what it should be.
I do have a fatty liver.
Yeah,
but it's a
you
non-alcoholic wine, so who cares? I can have alcohol. I'm kidding.
Who cares? Are you serious? Did you really just say that? That's a serious condition. That if you let it go for too long, which you have, it leads to scarring of the liver, which I'm not a medical doctor. I can't diagnose Chantal. Only a professional can do that. But the pictures that I've seen, Foodie, where you can actually see your liver from the outside of your body, it looks like your liver has gotten so large, or maybe there is scarring going on to the point you can see it on the outside. That's no joke. Because once your liver goes, I mean, it's game over. You don't get a spare. You're not going to get a replacement.
Hi Charlotte. And so we went there and I picked like a spot in the back of the place, got like a booth, like there's a little area with like a booth that's like really quiet. So I was like,
Why'd you get a okay, Miss Chantal? Why did you pick a booth in the back of the bar? Why in the back? Maybe because you felt a bit of embarrassment to be seen by other people? So you were kind of hiding in the corner. Was that it?
I'm in the back, you know. Anyway, it went very, very well. Like this person was just so we were just so easy to engage with. Like, so I had a beer, like, no, I had 2 beers, big ones. So, you know, I'm not supposed to drive after, but and it was he paid. Like this was an actual date. So for those of you saying go on an actual date, hi Susan, go on an actual date. Well, I went on an actual fucking date. I went on a date to this pub. We had drinks. He's like, let's start with drinks. So we started with drinks. He paid. So I was like so shocked that he was paying that I asked the waitress. She's like, she looked over it and she's fucking just like, I'm like, do you ever go on a date and like the man pays for you? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh. Anyways, and then I mean, obviously BB and everything like fucking pay. I don't go on like actual dates, you know.
Yeah, that's your problem. You don't go on actual dates. You don't get to know people. You don't talk to them first. You just want to hop right into the sack and jump right into a relationship. That's part of the problem. You think because you put on a nice dress, you put on your wig, you put on your makeup, they owe you a relationship right away.
So no basic. Well, I'm not gonna kiss and tell, but
I'm not, but
just
I
to be
am.
respectful, I guess. Yes, fried cheese curd. Everyone, hi, Vince Beezer. Being released and this dude needs to be booted from. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that's normal man behavior. So anyway, fuck. She's like, unless they're a dick. I was like, so anyway, I fucking was kind of tipsy. So he's like, you know what? Let's go for a walk. I was like, okay. So he's like, we'll leave your car here. We'll take my car. So like he only had 1 drink. So Took his car. He has a Mercedes. He fucking every single time I went to get in the car, he opened the door for me. Like,
You know what? Something that just sticks out to me. She's making a point to mention this guy has a Mercedes. That's important. Her pointing out that he has a Mercedes. I don't think he had a Mercedes. I think she's making it up. But she's trying to make him seem like a guy with money. So let's point out the type of car that he would be driving if he were some well-to-do gentleman. Why are you pointing out that he has a Mercedes? It's not your Mercedes. Not something you own. In my eyes, if a guy's car, whatever it is, it's whatever it is. But why is it so important to point out that he has a Mercedes? Maybe because you lied about it?
like every single time. Protect his identity. Hi, Starfish. So he opened the door for me. Like, he did not want me to. And, like, he's like, oh, you're parked right in a puddle. Like, he was concerned about, like, he's just so chivalrous and funny. Like, he made me laugh so hard about stuff. Like, for example, whenever he would say, he's like, I really hate cooking, by the way. And he has, like, a really cute Indian British accent.
Oh, he hates cooking. That he hates cooking, Foodie. He's out. He's out. Because every guy you look for, you want them to cook for you. So if he hates cooking, I mean, Mercedes or not, he's out. That's a deal breaker for you if they can cook food for you.
So he's like, I know hate is a strong word, but I can't think of a stronger word. Like, that made me laugh. So, and then,
You
yeah,
know, honestly, I don't even know why it's a big deal for her to find a guy that can cook for her when she doesn't like home cooking, no matter what it is. She prefers fast food. So why is it so important to find a guy that will cook for her when she doesn't do home cooking and she's not about that home cooking life?
he really didn't want, like, I thought we were just gonna have drinks, but he's like, let's go for a walk. Like, he didn't want the date to end. So, yeah, British Indian accent, yeah. Um, so then we went. He drove us. He put on Pink Floyd because we like similar music, and
What? He put up, well, you know what? If this deed was real and he puts on Pink Floyd, thumbs up to that. You guys know that's my favorite group in the world, Pink Floyd. Yes. David Gilmour on guitar is a god. Nobody can change my mind about that. There are other great guitarists in the world, wonderful guitarists like Jimmy Page. But David Gilmour is my most favorite guitarist because there's so much emotion in his playing. And he plays in such a non-egotistical way. Like he can take like one single note. You can play one single note and that's all you need. And the sign of a great guitarist in my eyes is someone that they can take their ego out of their playing and just if they can play one single note, that's all you need. That's a sign of a true artist, someone who's a true pro. They don't need a bunch of notes to get the job done. They can play one single note, and that one single note is all you need. But thumbs up if he was playing Pink Floyd. And Foodie's over here saying that Pink Floyd is her favorite group. No, it ain't. Stop lying. And don't you dare sing any Pink Floyd songs. I forbid you. And by the way, leave the Doors alone. That's another one of my favorite groups. Leave Jim Morrison alone. Leave the Doors alone. Leave Pink Floyd alone. As a matter of fact, leave all of these 70s and 80s music alone. I forbid you from listening and playing and singing to any of that.
and he opened the door to his nice Mercedes and took us for a drive down the street. Like, I have a picture of the bridge we went for a walk to. I'm gonna post it on Instagram. And no beach triggers. Sorry if I'm not saying hi. I'm just getting this out. Oh fuck. So anyway, it was really nice. I'm trying not to get too burnt because I have to get up early enough to go to Montreal tomorrow.
Yeah, what for? What are you going to Montreal for in the morning? Why? You had to go to Montreal for what? What business do you have in Montreal? Maybe Natter? Is that it? You were going for Natter? You got your glitter eyeshadow on. It doesn't look like a look you would use for something professional. I mean, you don't wear glitter eyeshadow for anything professional related or business related. Yeah, so what's up with that?
And so then I know I can love him a lot, Alyssa, with my march art. But anyway, so then I went for a little walk. He's like, I hate the sun. I'm like, me too. So that was another bonding moment. No, I'm just kidding. No. Anyway, it was so nice. We held hands. Like,
Oh my God. Oh, I hate the sun. Oh, I do too. We're bonded. We're going to get married. This is so ridiculous. Oh my God. I'm like, oh, you hate the sun? I do too. Let's get married.
walking. Like we held hands walking. Bitch, I'm gonna be alive forever. You are gonna have to sit and watch. I'm about to make a lot of people fucking mad with my life. I'm telling
Why?
you. Revenge life arc. Hi, Gasly.
Why do you think you're going to, why do you think we're going to get mad at you for having a better life? Why do you think we're going to get mad at you for giving us different content? Why would we be mad at that? We want you to do that. We want different content. We want something new to talk about. We want it. The audience wants it. The reactors want it. We don't want the same garbage tossed at us anymore. So why would it make you angry? I think the only people that would be mad at you doing something different are the people in your chat that are freaking feeders, that they come to your channel to get that free content of you stuffing your face, which you're still doing. So you're sitting there saying, oh, like I'm about to make a lot of people angry. Not really, because you're still doing the same things you were doing.
Is he another out of towner? No, he lives locally here. So let me get to that. So not only that, hello, Indian. So I was kind of hungry. And I'm like, I'm hungry. So I'm like, are you? And he's like, So anyways, he knew of a really good like Indian restaurant nearby, and so we went to pick it up. Followed him there. We went to pick it up. Krina, 1 2 3 4. Thank you, Krina. Revenge Life World Tour. Hi, Kermit. He's like a little older than me, but not by much. I think.
You think?
Yeah. So he's like, what? It was so cute. He's on the bridge. He's like, what? Yes. What is your best paneer dish, please? Can I tell him I like paneer? So we got that.
Lord, Foodie, you're out on a date. He wants to go to an Indian restaurant, and the first thing you think about is paneer. Have you not had enough paneer to last you the rest of your life? Of all the things you can order at an Indian restaurant, why paneer? You've eaten enough of it. It's not good for you. Why pick that?
2 garlic naans and this other appetizer I'm gonna show you. It's like pop.
Go on a date with a guy for the first time, and what does she order? A dish that's messy and sloppy. Boy, you don't know how to date.
Stum or something. It's like an appetizer papadum. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's so good. Hi, Amelia. Oh, Amelia, it's been a long time. Nice Mercedes gets blowy. So, anyways, okay.
So hippie girlfriend says, how do I get Chantal to notice me in a sea of fans? Send her lots of money, then she'll notice you. That's pretty much it. Because if you're just in her chat and you're not sending her money, she'll barely talk to you.
Let's take a train across India. Hi, hippie girlfriend. Sorry. Halloween Andy. Hi, Norma Jean. I missed you too. Sofa. I know, Sofa. We just ignore it. Watch us smoke, and also Halloween Andy says hi. Hi, Halloween Andy. Oh, by the way,
You know, if she did go on a date with a dude, which I seriously doubt this happened, she's just making up stuff as she goes. But if you're on a nice date with a guy and he says to you, "Where do you want to go to eat?" There's a variety of different places you can eat where you can eat healthy food. She's going to go straight for the unhealthy stuff. She could do that at home. Why eat unhealthy food on the first date?
my sofa. I said if I ever need like mods, like I had to mod Lambo earlier. Do you guys mind like plain cheese and the sugar chats are so generous? Where was I? Where was I with this?
Where were you? Telling lies?
Cause I guess non. He said not to say non-bread because non means bread, so it's redundant to say non-bread. So he said non. I'm so happy for life too. Why don't you join the chat if you sent $5? Hi, Anna Loverly. We maybe. Oh hey Ariel. I hope everyone will just get along now and be nice. That they said was the best. So we had that, we shared that. So he took me back, like he's like, let's go back to my apartment. So really nice big place. And yeah, we just went back to his house and had dinner and just chatted and had a really he's so smart. Like I like having conversations with people. Like so I'm enjoying making connections. Like and it's there's no drama. Like he was talking about a date he's gonna have next week and I'm
Yeah, like he's having a date next week. But did he talk about the date he's going to have with you later? Like, because that's usually how it goes on a date. If you got two people that get together and they like each other, there's discussion about seeing each other later at some point. Like, what are you doing next week? What are you doing tomorrow? Did that conversation happen, Foodie? I don't think it did. It sounded like he was already moving on in his head.
I'm talking about like, yeah, I mean, I'm going on dates too. I have the friggin' and meanwhile, my big Turk is messaging me like how are you, baby? I'm gonna like he was bored and like maybe said something about coming over, but I was like busy. And I'm like, sorry, I'm busy. I'm on a date.
Big question, Foodie. Big question. Feel free to take your time answering this. So these hot guys, or these guys in general, that you want to date, how do you think they'd feel if they walked in your house right now with all those box mountains and everything looking a mess? Do you think they'd dig it? Or would you be embarrassed? I think you'd be embarrassed. If they walked in and saw that mess, you'd be embarrassed. That should be a wake-up call to you, that you're living your life in such a way that you have to hide everything about who you really are. If you're around people and you want them to love you for who you are, then you've got to expose who you are in every way. You can't use the filtered pictures. You can't hide the fact that you at home are quite filthy and disgusting. If you want someone to accept you, then they've got to accept all of you. But if you have a house in such a state that you would be ashamed to bring anybody there, maybe that's a wake-up call that you should clean it up.
I'm just having a really good time, guys. Like I'm just having a really good time. Hey, pocket girl. So nice. And then waited for me to take off, and he was like texted me like almost right away. I really enjoyed like he kept saying how he's beautiful my face was, how beautiful, beautiful. And just kept saying how beautiful I am. And I'm just like, it's so cute. It was just such a nice day. I had such a good time. God, I could be treated like
So why didn't he say all this to your face? Wouldn't he tell you all this to your face while you're still there? Why text you and tell you that? That looks weird to me.
this all the time. I don't mind. Underscore beauty underscore official because this is gonna be an exciting time to be a beaver. I hope. My fucking fingers so short.
Not really.
Peace.
It doesn't look exciting to me. It looks like you're sitting in your filthy house with another box mountain directly behind you. You're smoking your weed, you're eating. Why is it exciting? What about this is exciting?
Hey, politics. Ooh, yes, absolutely, titney shitney. I'm gonna be out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be out a lot. It's not an insult, but he shouldn't have said it.
You know, I think this whole date situation is just a cover for her seeing Natter. If you're going to be honest, I think that she's going to go on lots of quote unquote dates so she can slip away and see Natter, and no one will think about her seeing Natter. I think that her, Natter, and Dee Dee are all seeing each other behind the scenes, and that's pretty much confirmed by that, by this. Her getting all dressed up to go somewhere, and she's got the gat no glitter on. Yeah, we see you, Foodie. You ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling nobody.
A lot of women would have taken it badly, and he should have considered that. Maybe he felt because I was being honest, he felt like he could. And I've made a lot of comments about my weight over the night, like just like,
Well, why would you do that? Why would you be on a date and talk incessantly about your weight? Don't you know how boring and aggravating that is? I mean, that's not an interesting topic for conversation. It lets a guy know that you're insecure about your weight.
who left me a comment? Oh, fuck it. I'm not gonna be mean back. I'm trying not to be mean to people.
Trying
I'm too
to.
happy right now to be fucking mean.
Now, you're not happy, you're
What can I
high.
say? I'm high.
So you're high, but you're not happy. So there's a difference. You can be high, and sometimes you're happy when you're high, but you're not happy. You want to know how I know that, Foodie? Because you're sitting there binging on food. Okay? I think you're trying to fool yourself into thinking that you're happy by being high. You're escaping. You're sweating over whatever it is that Sam's Bar Lounge is going to release next because there's rumors that the stuff will make you look bad, and you're trying to escape from being nervous and being anxious about it by being high and by binging on food. That's what I think.
I was gonna pet my cat and then I got high. Ew. Like when you and Jean do it, do you watch the TV entrance building to see who's coming in?
Why are you asking that question?
I mean, really, like, go back to whatever you're doing and mind your fucking business, okay? Thank you. Nobody talked about you. Nobody talked. I haven't talked
Shut up, Foodie.
reality show, so it is. Fuck. Okay, plain cheeseburgers. I unblocked everybody, but I don't know about it. I don't think I made a good decision on that because I wanted to give everyone another chance because, like, for the viewership. And then I was just gonna.
No, she's lying. She's lying. She didn't want to give everybody another chance. Foodie is not a generous, thoughtful person. The only time she unblocks people is when her money starts to go down. Then she's like, oh, if I unblock them, they'll come back and I'll make that extra membership money. That's why she unblocks people, because she goes on blocking sprees. And every time she blocks a VIB, that's for every person, that's $5 gone. And she'll go on a spree and she'll block several at a time. And every time she does that, that's money lost out of pocket. And her views have gone down. So she gets off her high horse sometimes and she unblocks people. It's not about because I care about these people or I miss talking to them. It's about, oh, I'm losing money. I've got to do something.
Say if people bug you, just block them on your end. You know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see.
And she's probably also worried about if she keeps everybody blocked and whatever it is that Sam's Lounge is going to release on her, she's going to lose even more people. I'm, you know what? I may be completely wrong about this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't know exactly what's going to be on the video that Sam's Bar Lounge will release at some point, but I'm just going on a hunch here that if she came forward and apologized to her VIBs, she might have said something about the VIBs. She might have talked about them to the point where they're going to get very, very upset if they hear whatever it is that she says in those videos. So if she's already lost a lot of people, and whatever it is that Sam's Bar Lounge is going to release, if it has anything to do with the VIBs are going to get upset, and a lot of them might leave. She's already lost a lot, so that'll be even more. So she's doing damage control. Like, let me unblock everybody, because I know when this video comes out, if it comes out, I might lose people. She's trying to mitigate the damage.
Whose family? Yes, no attacking families.
And she leaves the camera.
That's what I want to know.
I don't want to watch her eat.
Or, you know, hop on the hate bandwagon like you've always tried to do. You literally fucking Jean changes Jen's diaper in bed. You literally fucking like hated on me. Like you called me a fucking hussy. And you're so fucking
Well, if the shoe fits.
fake. You sit there with your banner being like, be the love, be the light. Like, why are you threatened by my fucking sexuality? Why do you even care who I fuck? It's my pussy.
You know what? Who you have sex with is your business. The thing is, you don't just make it your business. You make it everybody else's business. You make a point to tell us about everybody you sleep with, and in what position, and in what location. You let us know. You don't know how to have a private life, Foodie. It's all out there in the public. You make a point to stage the scene like it's like a crime scene. Oh, look, here are these condoms out in the open. Aren't I a bad girl? No, you're not. It looks pathetic. When you sit there and you put condoms on a floor, or you put them behind you on a counter, it looks pathetic. Like, who does that? To make a point to show evidence that you had sex. If you have it, you have it. But who cares if you have it? But you got to tell everybody, like some 16-year-old, like, oh, look, like, hey, I've got a boyfriend. Hey, this is going on. It looks sad. It looks really sad.
It's not yours. Why do you even give a shit who I have sex with?
You make it our business, but we
Period.
don't care.
You are so very big. I know. I am big.
Oh, hey, we don't want to see that. Listen, no, ma'am. I don't want to see your underwear. Oh, I don't know if we're going to skip over this part, y'all, but you guys saw the clip I showed you where she said recently that she's 473 pounds. Guess what? She's back to lying again, saying that she's in the 330s. Chantal, you're not. You're not 330 plus pounds. You're not. You're closer to 500. And I'm very confused about your attitude. On one side, you want to be big, beautiful me, and I'm happy to be at my size. On the other side, you lie about your weight and you filter your pictures. Please pick a lane and stay in it. My personal opinion, I think that you are very embarrassed of your size. You don't like yourself, and that's why you go out of your way to lie to your audience and lie to yourself about your weight. Otherwise, you'd own it. You'd own all of yourself. You'd say, yeah, I'm 400 plus pounds. I am. It is what it is. It's my life. I can be 400 pounds if I want to. But for some reason, you're stuck on 330 pounds. But you're not, though. You're not 330. We can all look at you and tell you're not. Not being rude, but you're getting bigger by the day. You keep shoveling in thousands and thousands of calories. There's no possible way that you can be 330 pounds, ma'am. I'm 127 pounds. I'm 5'4". You're much, much, much bigger than me. You cannot sit there and say you're 330 pounds. You're not. Own what you are rather than lie about what you are. It's so much easier to tell the truth than to tell a bunch of lies.
Obsessed. Like, tell him to trust himself, not be so hard on himself if he makes a mistake. Yeah. Get pizza Lunchable. In a Capri Sun? No.
Lunchable in a juice box.
Pete looks like he lives off pizza bagels. No, we don't. All you do is stick it in the meat. Yeah, we gotta wait for it to come up to temperature and everything. 145 for meatloaf. Well, 160.
Not everyone to the circle.
I have a small part. No. Get some fruit.
This super chat, Samuel's saying, tell Pete to go to his room. He's being rude to you. No, I like it when Pete's is rude to her. I like it when he's rude to her. She deserves it.
Oh, Samuel.
Who wants fruit?
Although I don't understand him being off camera and just sitting there. Like, I don't even know where in the room he is, but just making comments off camera. Like, what's his purpose being there?
Oh, condensed milk. Oh my God! Shut up and leave. With corn creating corn. I just gotta chill. Never haven't you? No wonder people think I have seizures. They just don't understand me. But that's okay. Not everyone will.
No, nobody. I do understand Chantal. I understand that she doesn't care about her health. I understand that she's on YouTube and she's making drama shock content for money. I understand that. I understand that about her. I understand that she's a train wreck, and obviously she likes being the train wreck. She likes engaging in reckless behavior, and she's not going to stop ever. She's never going to change into a better person because she truly doesn't want it. I understand this about her. I do. Do I think it's right? No. I will never understand how someone who makes the amount of money that Chantal does, where she can do anything she wants to better herself, she's not doing it. There are lots of people in the world that they want to change their lives, and yet they don't have a lot of the means that Chantal does. They would love for the opportunity and the money, and they just don't have it. But she does, and she's not using it. She's using what she has to wreck and ruin herself. I don't get that. Like, if you got the chance to better yourself, why wouldn't you? But she doesn't. She really likes being the train wreck. She likes the drama. She likes the negative attention. She likes upsetting people. She likes pissing people off. That's her jam, and will always be her jam. And it doesn't matter how the VIBs feel. It doesn't matter how supportive they are. What she wants is what she wants. And as long as she wants to be a train wreck, she's going to be a train wreck forever until something happens to her. Till something happens to her. So, you know what, guys? There's a little bit left to this video, but why go any further? She's getting higher and higher. I don't want to show you guys that. So thank you for watching this React video. If you happen to like it, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And please take care. Bye-bye.